And today we are finding synergies between boundaries. I just want to take some time to talk about sustainability and agile. That's most of the work that I'm focusing on. And sustainable product development can, in fact, we have been evolving it over the last over 20 years to be more agile. There is a particular agile sort of tool that is very commonly used, and that's value stream mapping. Now, I really believe that product development can be sustainable and can be done by combining these two things, agile and concepts of circular economy, for example, anything sustainability related. And that is something we can do in our daily work. Now, specifically value stream mapping, I find that is very helpful tool and moment in time when you're bringing all these people together to extend it, to be able to incorporate ideas and measurements around circular economy principle so that we can optimize for the flow of materials, for the flow of information, or for the flow of energy usage. And I had a session in Agile Alliance XP 2023 on that very thing. So Agile and value stream mapping and evolving it in a way that we account for natural and social capital. At the end of the day, the aim of product development is to build those products and services that can endure over time, that can support the concepts for a sustainable work, that we can be sustainable, not just in the product itself, but also in the people, in the time, in the energy involved in the process, and the consumption that its very existence requires. If any single part of the process cannot be maintained over time, well, it's unsustainable. Sustainability is the ability to sustain. So when we make the most of Agile, we really truly embed in the fabric of an organization the ability to increase predictability and reduce risk. That's what we're trying to do at the end of the day. The practices enable us and the businesses that we work for to be adaptable, to be efficient, to be, well, able to sustain. And embracing circular economy principles, for example, as Agile practitioners, we can reduce the environmental footprint, focus on value impact, and minimize waste. Agile really promotes the collaboration, innovation, continuous improvement, and all of this really aligns with the goals of sustainability and some of the connotations on circular economy. Designing products for reuse involves considering, for example, the entire value chain, the life cycle, right? So that's from raw materials to the end of life, sort of disposal or what happens with that. So think up on downstream activities, which includes modular design, using durable and recyclable, upcyclable materials, and implementing sort of take-back programs. The benefits of designing products for reuse are, well, reducing the resource consumption, minimize waste generation. Also, you have cost savings through the longevity of your products, and that also includes software, and the creation of new revenue streams through most often looked at the product as a service sort of models. Now, value stream mapping is a very common Agile practice that we already have in our toolbox. And I've been working for years with the notion of extending it so that you can incorporate this, for example, circular economy principles and mapping the entire value stream in a way that moves away from being a linear concept to a much more circular concept. And where you identify areas of waste and inefficiency, and so you can evaluate the feasibility of some strategies at each step of the way, and some of which could be circular economy strategies, right? So you bring together representative of each vertical section, and that's the same that you would do with any sort of value stream mapping, so that you have that system map and collaborate to outline the time that you spent in between each vertical activities. And think being in a sort of queue ready to be consumed by the next vertical step, right? This way you could create ways to streamline it. And that's normally how we looked at value stream mapping. We looked at time waste, waiting times. So we looked at, common practice of value stream mapping, only look at this one variable, which is time. Now, how I've evolved it over time is to account beyond time and include other variables such as waste of finance, waste of effort, but also include materials, include energy, so that you find lever points and how you're going to streamline it throughout your whole value chain. And organizations can very easily, I think you have different levels of depth, but you can identify opportunities to reduce waste and extend the product lifetime and also recover valuable materials. Value stream mapping, you can help to optimize that flow of materials, of information, of energy in a way that is more circular, right? So that your value stream move from that linear way of thinking, taking something from Earth, making something with it, and then wasting it in a way that, it can evolve its ability to sustain over time. So for example, when moving the concept of product from material based to value based, that way of looking at it on value versus on materials, you could be looking at that product as a service. And there are few examples, especially one place, if you are interested in circular economy, is the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. They have a lot of information, examples, case studies. I would definitely be the place to point people at. So you could be looking at, performance-based payments, right? So your customers moving into a monthly fee basing on your services system performance rather than buying particular materials, so that you reduce the resource consumption and promoting sort of longer product life cycle. You could also be looking about reusability and upcyclability, so that as a manufacturer, you design features in a way that are easy to repair, easy to replace, and eventually upcycle, even the reuse, extending their life and minimizing waste. You also look at the efficiency of the energy. So how can you manage the systems, the services in a way that you optimize the energy that those consume, so that you result in energy savings also from the uses of your devices. That's why a lot of those notions, we tend to think of material-based products, but software has a physicality of it. So those end users, devices, and all the different devices utilized for software as well throughout your value stream, how can you have significant energy savings and reduce emissions? Also, the reduce of capital costs, right? So adopting similar models, you can eliminate the need for upfront capital investment using services, so that making more efficient solutions more accessible. So give it a go. Next time you have an opportunity to facilitate value stream mapping. And if you don't, then create the opportunity for that to happen when you look at across your whole value stream. Yes, to optimize the variable of time, but also account for materials and energy. If you really think as well with the circular economy hat on, which may help bring in certain questions, you have 3 key principles to base those conversations on. One is keeping products and materials longer in use. What does that look like on your value stream, on your map? Second principle is about reducing waste and pollution. what is your current state of affairs? And then the third principle is about regenerating natural systems. And so looking at your whole value chain, what are the different spaces and processes that are in place today? And how could those be spaces for regeneration? So I hope this brings a bunch of ideas, getting you at the edge of your chair to make this happen. At the end of the day, it's really up to us. And as Agile professionals, we are key players as a change enablers. So let's make our work count in a way that leaves the place better than how we found it. Let me know how it goes. And I look forward for this year to be a boost year on our practice so that we can elevate and we can account for natural and social capital in all we do.